in relationship to the conversation I had this morning, we want to be mindful. I kept on referring about the austerity and the kind of renunciation of not knowing. So not being able to be anybody that's going anywhere particular.
Right.
It's kind of an excruciating degree of renunciation, and that's kind of death of the false self.
So that's really.
But you will be amazed once we learn how to disengage from being the individual who's going somewhere. All kinds of amazing things can and do happen. But you'll find out in the end that it doesn't really matter. That at the deepest level of this dimension of what we're doing, there is nothing happening. So we can get carried away in the display and in the journey, which is can in itself be very compelling and fascinating and interesting, but that's not the ultimate destination. The ultimate destination is to abide in that dimension of reality, in that deepest dimension of the self, where nothing ever happened. Then that's the locus of freedom.
So that's related to the second half of the question.
Okay.
Which is abiding in that dimension is the ground of being. Is that correct?
Say that again?
When you are abiding in that dimension you just described,
Mm-hmm.
that's being at the ground of being? Is that
well,
interpret that?
theoretically, yeah. The problem with this phrase "ground of being" is it's very something sounding.
Yes.
So I don't really like it anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because I've noticed that when people hear it, they grasp onto that particular phrase like it's some place, you know, like it's a beach in Thailand or something.
Yeah,
But
or a
it's a particular-
state. A state, is it a state?
Well, it's experienced as a state.
Yeah.
We experience it as a state, but it is
Right.
a place.
Yes.
It is literally the deepest dimension of everything.
Yes. So when we, as you were saying earlier today, you can't really know, we don't want to be navigating where we're at, using our mind to navigate. So my question is then, can you know if you're at the ground of being, if you're in that state? Do you know, for example, when you're in that state? Or does anyone know?
No, the way I keep myself out of trouble is I just practice what I teach. So I stay out of trouble, so I don't have to make any claims, because I just put into practice the no relationship.
Okay.
So the minute I'm there, then I'm not there anymore. And that's true for all of us.
Okay.
And it keeps me out of trouble.
Okay. So then
You understand why that might be the case?
Yes, I do, actually.
Okay, very good. So we have to. So you notice I'll going back and forth between saying that there's a specific place and a location, and
Right.
then I say no relationship, and I keep bouncing. I'm just bouncing back and forth between those, but trying to be free from both. So it's freedom itself.
Yeah.
Is something that's very intangible, and so the mind can only relate to something. It can't relate to nothing.
Right.
And so we have to be able to stay very light on our feet here, otherwise we get trapped in this or that. And so the issue: can we use a lot of this metaphysical language, like ground of being, or today I was speaking about the absolute subject, or all the different ways that we speak about this. Can we use these metaphysical explanations and yet remain free of them at the same time? That's the big challenge. So that's what I try and do.